Again, my long-term expat friends here and then my Thai friends here, we all see that differently. We don't agree with that. We think that person's deluding himself. Yeah, I really wanted to call this video like what to do if your pay grade's a little on the lower side, but I think I think I'm going to title this something like how to assess your own pay grade or something, because a really big probably I think maybe the biggest problem for guys that come and retire here and then at some point they start looking for a partner, usually pretty quickly. Most guys at this age, which I think is smart just biologically as their bodies are breaking down, we go to pick a partner pretty quick. I mean, typically way too quick, but you get what I mean. But as we're doing that, we tend to go way beyond our pay grade, going for a lady that's really it's just very unlikely to bordering on impossible that person's going to have a sincere interest in you. And then you partner up with that person, literally invest, maybe build a house on her land, put a lot of time and money into the relationship. Guys give the women access to their bank accounts, which is a terrible idea overseas. Cross culture, you don't know what a person from another culture is thinking. The thing that I think the number one thing I'd like you to think about, the most helpful thing I can tell you is back in your home country, I'm pretty sure, but I can tell you 100% back in America, if you go and ask out a lady that's, younger, prettier, she's got her money already, she doesn't need you, or she's just has more other optionality, more other options that are just she perceives as being more attractive than what you represent, they won't date you. They might laugh at you, they might insult you, but even if they're the politest person in the world, they won't go out with you, and they dang sure won't say they're your girlfriend, and they really won't marry you, and they won't register that. They won't do any of that. I mean, that's laughable to think. The problem is they'll do all that. A woman that really perceives you as a poor option will probably still say yes to a date just to explore what you have. They may even press to say, hey, they're your girlfriend and don't date anybody else. They want you exclusively, and they'll marry you. And they might despise you. They might find you unattractive, totally unattractive, and not like you at all. And they'll marry you. And gee, why would they do that? Money. And a woman here might have a lot less financial opportunities to take advantage of than a woman, say, I can say in Metro Detroit, a woman's got a lot of options. There's a lot of rich guys in Detroit. I mean, I don't know where Detroit ranks these days, but when I was growing up, it was ranked as a number 10 market in the United States. So globally, that'd be pretty dang high. I can tell you there's still an awful lot of money there. You go to a car meet, you go cruising around a neighborhood somewhere, and it's shocking how many $10 million houses, $5 million houses you find. And I mean, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 cars are all over the road. I mean, all over the road. So a woman that looks pretty good, she's got a lot of options. There's a lot of rich guys that will go up and go, hey, you look pretty good. Let's go to dinner, and you're left out. You're out, buddy. You're not in that league. So we're here. You represent a lot of money, but they just might not like you. I don't know. That doesn't sound good. But so how to assess your pay grade? Okay, thanks for the great news. So, I mean, do be careful because they really will say. So one thing is someone saying yes to a date, pursuing a relationship with you, it's up to you to qualify why they want the relationship. Where back home, you kind of, there are gold diggers, believe me, but definitely don't marry a gold digger. But here it's just different. Man, you just got to be really careful. So, how can you assess your pay grade? So, first thing is get a reality check. So, if you're getting yourself cleaned up, you go to like a nice hair salon, or as we age, our skin ages. I go and get a skin treatment twice a year. It helps my skin stay healthier. And when I go to a clinic, I've never once been hit on by anybody there. And out here, where I live, my pay grade's pretty high. I get hit on almost every day. In a clinic, never happened. Why is that? Why? Yeah, because those women are all really pretty. Now, they're plastic surgery pretty. Praise God, I don't care for that because those women are, I think, a real waste of your time, in my opinion. But in terms of if you were interested, man, they're not. They're not even interested in a fake relationship. They want nothing to do because they have so much optionality. They're dating the eligible Thai men, the rich Thai guys coming by, and that's what they really want. So you and I, we're out. So you get a good reality check. Go into a place like that, or go into, I can't think of another example, but you'll probably find some premium environments, like a high-end car dealership, maybe the commissions are higher or something. I'm not sure how that works here. Oh, go to like an expensive mall or shopping area. There's a great one. I don't know how I didn't think of that before. You'll find you get absolutely no attention. So you want to get, I think you want to force yourself. It's kind of maybe hurt your feelings a little bit, but you want to get some kind of reality check that not everybody here is going to just, fawn all over you. You're going to need, I think you need a realistic viewpoint here. You get the idea. You'll find that you some places there's just no interest in you at all. Or go to a big city. Go to a gee whiz. If I need my ego knocked down a notch, which I really don't. I'm 62 already. But if I did, I could go to Khon Kaen, or I could go to Bangkok, or I could go to Pattaya, and I'm more or less chopped liver at all three locations. Maybe not quite as bad in Khon Kaen, but I'm mostly chopped liver in Khon Kaen. A lot of very eligible Thai men and a lot of very eligible foreign residents, or what people call expats, in Khon Kaen, and I'm going to really not be able to compete very effectively in that environment. I'm 62, so what are you going to do, right? So I think the first thing is give yourself a reality check, because guys tend to come here, and it's got to be 90% or some crazy number. And my friends here and that have lived here for a long time, I've been here 4.5 years. My friends that have all been here a long time, we all see the same exact thing. We kind of joke about it a little bit, not in a mean way, but it is kind of interesting. Guys come here and tend to have a really inflated opinion of their value in the social market and the dating market here with the Thai women. For some reason, guys, generally the belief is that a man could come here in his 50s or 60s, put in zero, and I mean zero effort in cleaning himself up, zero effort and putting on any kind of nice clothes. So muscle shirt, dirty shorts, and flip-flops will be just fine going to a nice restaurant, obviously, right? And this is what you see. And just put in no effort socially to adapt to any of the culture. Some of it's I'm not going to give examples, but it's not good. And just no effort on any front whatsoever. And then they're going to go and pursue women in their late 20s to maybe no older than 40 or so. And that's a rougher area. Now, over 30 women and all that, and have been married before and have had kids before, they're not eligible to date eligible Thai men, but they're not not eligible to date anybody. I mean, they still have options, especially if they're a woman that's really pretty is always going to have somebody interested. It's not like their streets are lined with all these, model level ladies that just, I wish some slob of a guy would come along, and no one's thinking that. But guys do come here with this sort of weird belief for some reason. I'm not sure where it comes from, but this isn't no one here is that desperate for attention or for male companionship to really sincerely engage in a relationship like that. But that's the overwhelming belief. It's odd. It's odd. And I've talked to probably a dozen or a couple dozen, I'm not sure, guys that were newer here or even been here a while and just hadn't paid much attention, and they're with a woman that maybe doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you look at the guy and look at the lady and everything, and no one's ever seemed to throw out any kind of idea of any concern that the woman might be thinking they're money only or any. I don't know. It's strange. Again, my long-term expat friends here and then my Thai friends here, we all see that differently. We don't agree with that. We think that person's deluding himself. I'm pretty sure that the Thai people and the long-term guys here are right on that one. And so I'll tell you, when you come here, I would try to get a realistic perspective and see who's interested in you. And here's the other problem, though, is you will get flirting from young, pretty ladies all the time, but those aren't real offers for a sincere relationship. What they really want to do is they want a me annoy for you, which is a paid mistress. They want a salary for their affection. You can call that other words if you'd like. I mean, there's a theory that some guys subscribe to, which I don't really, but that like all relationships are some form of prostitution, because the guys do give support and women give love and affection. But it matters a lot. It matters a lot if the lady actually cares for you or not, in my opinion. And these other ladies I'm talking about, they're not going to care about you. The guys that I've all talked to that live in the tourist areas that date just for fun, or you can go from one girlfriend to the next, and they're very pretty and they kind of don't care, and that's fine. As soon as they have any kind of problem, they said the girls just scramble. They're gone. Like as soon as there's any issue at all, they're just gone. So they're definitely your fair weather girlfriend, or whatever you want to call that. As an example, I've known probably about a handful of Western guys here that had Thai wives that really disliked them, that acted absolutely against their best interests. Most of those ladies I knew were having relationships with other guys, Western or Thai, at the same time. And gee, Rob, why didn't you warn them? You know, the first couple guys I did try to warn, and no one once has ever wanted to hear it, and so I don't say anything anymore. If you want to try and sincerely assess your pay grade a little bit, man, it's really hard here because they'll throw so much attention at you, but you really have to look at the motivation behind the person. You have to, if you don't know the culture that well, then you're going to have to kind of get to know people a little bit and understand their circumstances, and then kind of reverse engineer. Why then? How do I fit? How do I make? Because if the woman's really that pretty and young, why is she with the 58-year-old out of shape guy that doesn't dress nice and doesn't speak any of the language and doesn't know any of the local customs to help her save face? And saving face is what she is not wants to, is doing every day. She's saving face somehow. How is she saving face with you? You know, if there's no interest in your appearance or the appearance of being seen with you and what you're doing and how you look and all that, and she has no interest in that, yet she looks good, she's saving face because she looks good, and something about her is separate from you. What is that? Because if she's paired with you socially, if she tells everybody, this is my man, I love him, I'm going to marry him, we're going to be together forever, she will be cleaning you up like a vintage car pulled out of a junkyard. She'll be scraping that rust off and putting new paint on everything. Fawn went through like this almost rabidly intensive phase of cleaning me up because she was pairing up with me emotionally and socially, and with her kids and her family and her lifelong friends, who are now people I socialize with every day. And she was going to hold us out as a pair together, our destinies tied together. And so she was not going to lose face over that. A Thai person doesn't want to do that. And so there was the cleaning up Rob phase, which lasted probably 2 years. It took me a while. I had a lot of medical problems too, which you already probably know about, but still, it was a long process. If you look at the pictures of, look at one of my first videos here, and then look at a more recent one, I look very different physically. But it's also lower stress. When I got it, I was like, it's all like wound up tight, and your face is kind of clenched, your jaw is kind of clenched because you're stressed over everything. When you relax, you look more relaxed and healthier, and you look more attractive as a person when you're not like, extreme stress doesn't make a person look better. Isn't that weird? But beyond that, I mean, generally, I will tell you, Thai women mostly date men around their own age. I mean, age is different here because of the economic realities, and the culture is kind of more open and forgiving and all that. But generally speaking, women date men their age. So a 35-year-old woman dates 32 to 38-year-old guys. And once a man is more than 5 to maybe 7 years, is what I see, older than the woman, that starts to get out of the normal bounds a little bit. Let's go through these one by one. So the not smiling. We Westerners, old Western men, tend to from a Thai perspective, go around basically mean-facing everybody. That is so much not a thing here. I can't even tell you. Like, you really cannot do that. That's super unacceptable here. Again, you make your own choices, but I'll tell you, your reception is going to be poor with that one. And not speaking Thai. I, on a very rare basis, have somebody say speaking Thai doesn't help you at all here. I can't even fathom how a person could even think that. How would not communicating with people in the only language that most of them speak, how would that not, on what planet is that not an advantage? And I'll tell you, now that I've kind of crossed a certain level where I'm not great or anything, but yeah, I'm pretty conversational now. I mean, everyone's face brightens up, and all the guys are very much friendlier with me too after that, but a lot of the ladies, that anyone even remotely, possibly, potentially age appropriate for a relationship, if they're single, boy, do I get the interest. I mean, that if you're a single guy, that's the best thing here. And over 50 years old. Well, gee, Rob, you're 62. Yeah, my pay grade would be higher if I was 12 years younger. Right around age 50, they see that Western men, such as us, for example, tend to be more willing to settle down and don't need to do the playboy thing and stop responding to every single flirt they get and all this stuff. So somewhere around 50, maybe it's 45, maybe it's 48, maybe it's 52, somewhere in there, is kind of like the ideal older pension guy that can kind of is settling down. So if you're older than that, you got to take off points, man. That's just how it goes. And then if you're not at least 5'11", at around 5'11", maybe 5'10", maybe 6 foot, somewhere in there, they consider you really tall. I'm 5'9". In fact, I'm a hair under 5'9" now after the last, 2 surgeries ago. I'm still considered, tall-ish here. But a lot of Westerners are taller than me. So if you start to become more tall for a Westerner, again, that kind of 5'11" and up or something like that, that's a big bonus. They like a tall guy. So if you're not, you got to take points off. You don't get to cheat on this. So you can tell yourself anything you want to make yourself feel good, but the Thai women are keeping track. And the clothes. Just dressing like a slob when you're dating is just a terrible idea. I don't have anything more to say about that. And the respectful behavior, that's a big one. I'll tell you, I physically, literally do the Seinfeld sidestep thing. They had an episode on that a long time ago. I do that from time to time. The Westerners are behaving so badly. I want to make it clear I'm not with them. When their shit show starts, I'm a spectator. I'm not a participant. I've seen guys almost get into fights, all kinds of stuff, and I'm backing up. I'm stepping away. I don't need this crap, Very bad. A lot of guys exhibit very bad behavior here, and you would do yourself a tremendous service by distancing yourself from that. No loud voice, no big hand gestures, everything respectful. I was just at a restaurant, and while I was waiting to be acknowledged, I kind of slump. It's a small body posture. I slump my shoulders. I clasp my hands in front of me, and I make just kind of a pleasant little smile on my face, but not staring at them. I'm just kind of I look off to the side, and I'm just like I got all the time in the world. I'm waiting until they acknowledge me, and then Saudi cup, and then I place my order. Once I did that, the whole vibe of all the Thai people around me changed. The owner of the restaurant knows me. They know that they're going to expect that behavior from me. We were joking back and forth as they were cooking my order. But the other people then warmed up to me, ended up chatting with them, made a joke to a couple ladies. This was a lot of fun. If you're more than 20, 25 pounds overweight, everybody knows an older guy, you're going to have a little something. I'm not, I can't. Having a six-pack is probably not going to happen for me again, okay? But being beyond the normal little paunch, you got to take points off. If you're 100 pounds, if you're 80 pounds, 100 pounds overweight, 50 pounds overweight, you got to take points off. Fitness, no bonus points for fitness. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry for myself. and all my fitness friends. You get the bonus points for not, you get no demerit points because you're not overweight, but being really fit doesn't really buy you anything here. The Thais don't really care. As long as you can dress nice, look good, and you're not dumpy looking and all that, then you're fine. Thai haircut, lack of a Thai haircut. If you come with a Western style haircut, you want to do the rock and roll 80s guy thing, that's cool, but you better be rocking it. Because they don't dig it here. They do not dig that. Most Westerners have like a 1970s newscaster parted way long over the ears, down almost touching the collar. And they don't, it's like they went to a seminar of how I can look older and more past my prime. It's bizarre. For guy dating, that's just bizarre. Gray or white hair, unacceptable unless you're 80 years old. Absolutely unacceptable. Nobody here. Everybody colors their hair. The poorest Thai guys in the village dye their hair. Nobody goes with gray or white hair unless you can rock it. Again, my friend Johnny, I only say his first name. I don't show photos of him, and I never say his last name. He's got white hair, but he's handsome, and he has like this movie star kind of person. He's got like a magnetic personality. It's hard to explain, but anywhere I go with him, everybody's gathered around Johnny, and he doesn't speak a lick of Thai, which is a shame because they'd love to hear what he has to say. So if you're Johnny, great, rock the white hair. Otherwise, get in line with me and color your hair. Let's see. And if you're bald, they don't like a bald guy. Sorry to tell you that. My hairline's receding too, is what it is. But if you're bald, wear a hat a lot, or if you can do the Jason Statham stubble thing, maybe try that look. Maybe do the tough guy thing a little bit. I don't know. You're going to have to come up with something, And if you're short, bald, fat, and don't wear nice clothes, and you're not particularly handsome, and you're over 50, then you probably shouldn't be dating a 32-year-old supermodel. Just throwing that out there as a suggestion, food for thought. Don't mean to be mean. I'm just having a little fun. But no, these are serious things. And I think I deliberately did this, like taking demerit points versus adding, because everybody will want to add or whatever. I thought this was a more different way to look at it, and maybe it would encourage guys to be more realistic because, again, they'll date you. They'll say yes to the date. They'll say yes at the wedding, and you're going to screw yourself. I know plenty of guys that have. Please don't do that. All right, back to our regular programming. And once a man is more than 5 to maybe 7 years, is what I see, older than the woman, that starts to get out of the normal bounds a little bit. And then you will see that, like amongst Thai couples, that man has a really good job. He's handsome. He has some personality on him. As they'll say, he talks good. So if you're trying to date somebody, and most guys go for women 10, 15, 20 years younger, hey, that's great. But then you need to earn that, and if you're going to try and do that with a 28-year-old that's extremely attractive, that's going to be really hard. Now, if you're talking about a 45-year-old traditional woman who has kids, who's been married before, and maybe she doesn't look like the beauty standard here, as I'm always saying, is the Korean K-pop stars and the Thai soap opera stars. Look up those things on the internet, look for photos of those people, and you'll see a consistent theme in what they all look like. The Thai women are trying to look maybe almost like 50% Korean Thai. Like there's this thing, a little indelicate the way I put it, kind of bluntly there, but that's what they tell me in private. Only in private, they're not going to say that in public. So don't go run around saying that. So if a woman doesn't look like that, she has the more traditional Thai beauty, which I happen to prefer, and I hope you prefer it because it's a lot easier for you, then okay, not such a big deal. You're looking for a woman, 40, 45, 50, and she's attractive by Western standards because a lot of Thai women, they don't really age as much as, like I say, a Western woman you might be used to seeing. They already look really good anyways. If you like that exotic tan, cinnamon tan beauty, which I really prefer, then that's great for you. Then you can find someone who's very nice and certainly plenty attractive and all that. But if you're going to go for broke, you're going to be broke. Careful when you say go for broke, because you're going to end up, you're going to make that one, that's going to come true. You're going to be broke. Old story here. A lot of guys come here, chase those ladies, and they do end up in a real bad way. A lot of ugly stories. You can look it up. The suicide rate here is suspiciously high. Maybe hard to tell. Those statistics tend to disappear. But there's certainly an awful lot of smoke. So there's probably some fire there. Lot of sad stories about guys, and they blame the woman 100%, and that's fine. You're also screwing around where you had no business being. So again, if you're reckless for long enough, you will find people, just like in the construction world where I come from. People would occasionally hear this crazy story of people complaining about a builder or our design build company, like what I worked for, my first job out of college. They complained, oh, they built this house and it's structurally unsound. Yeah, the people went to like 10 different companies and shopped this ridiculous vision, eventually found somebody that would take their money and build a 4-story home, very heavy, on this swamp soft land that they bought, but on this beautiful lakefront. Hey, the lakefront's beautiful, but your home is literally on wetlands. You're going to need naval experience to pilot that thing as it sinks into the water in the future. Eventually you screw around, you're going to find out, is the thing, right? And don't do that in retirement, because you're probably fixed income like most of us. You may have a fixed pile of money you're living off of. You may have fixed money coming in every month, or both, or whatever. And most guys in retirement aren't like in their peak earnings anymore. So you do have to be a little bit more careful. If you can, when it is time to settle down, you can find them in the city. This is harder, but you certainly 100% can find them in the cities and tourist areas. Try and find someone that buys into the more traditional Thai culture, because those people, it's a culture of care and caring, and we're old and we need things like that. It's a real good fit for you. The more modern people that are into the handbags and the labels and going to the rooftop dining every week, which in Bangkok, that's not cheap. I do that once or twice a year, and man, that ain't cheap. That's a $200 dinner for 2 people, yeah, it's not cheap. But it's a great night. I love it. But once a year, whatever, it's great. But I wouldn't, if you do it every weekend, man, you better have some money. But those people tend to be more shallow, more westernized, and more selfish. The West, where I come from, we're more individualistic, and here it's more collective, centering around the Thai people, which you will not generally be considered among. You can, but that's rare. So you're really, you're overseas, man. You're out of your element. You're in a foreign land, and you're the foreigner. You have to be more careful. But I'm going to use this as an introductory material. I'm going to edit the crap out of this, because I think I rambled more than normal here. And then I'll come back in another day or something, and then I'll put some other points on this. I don't know if I can make this video or not, but I think what I'm trying to say is, for guys that come here, the best thing you could do is give yourself some kind of reality check. Like this idea that when guys come here, that they're just going to be the king, and all the women are going to want them, and a smoking hot 28-year-old's going to be all super excited to meet him, and he doesn't have to make any effort at all to earn this. That is way wrong and super detrimental to your retirement and to your life here. I think the more that you can give yourself some kind of wake-up call and get out of that mindset, which is the mindset the overwhelming majority of guys have when they come here, and I don't know where this comes from, but it's absolutely false. My friends, all my friends, whether they're Thai or foreign, all my friends here see that it's completely false and kind of ridiculous, but it's common. We see it all the time. And then if you could kind of assess where you are a little bit, and generally if you're 50, the natural inclination is for a woman, a Thai woman, no younger than probably 40, to really be sincerely interested in you. Yeah, it can go lower than that. Sure can. Absolutely sure can, but you got to earn it. If you're 60, it's going to be hard work for you to attract a woman younger than 50. If more than 10 years younger, they're not stupid. I mean, the Thai women are sharp. They're real sharp, because this is a male-centric society. So they thrive here by being very sharp. You underestimate the Thai women at your peril, sir. They're sharp, and they pay attention to everything. We come here, we're on vacation. A lot of guys consume way too much alcohol every day. They are not paying attention. Thai women are paying attention. So anyway, there's my thoughts for now. I'll try and make something out of this later. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Listen. Oh yeah, there's nothing to hear. It's peace and quiet. Hang on, I just, no shave, no nothing. Sorry, I'm in my library, sipping my morning ritual, which involves checking my YouTube channel and a few little bits of news that I care about, which isn't much these days. And I look at that, son. I'm turning the camera on probably better. Hang on. Look at that. Oh, So pretty. That's real quiet. You can see I added that little orange metal roof there. There's like it's a roll-up door, has a big like box that holds the door when it's rolled. See? It was just really ugly on the front of the house. I never liked it. We are literally the only house in the village with a garage, which is kind of weird. There's her laundry. We're extending the concrete here. We extended this concrete. It's all new. This was all for the massive price of, I think, under $600. But I'm going to add more here, and I'd like to put in maybe some concrete bench and some tables to give Fawn some permanent sort of, where it doesn't look like an encampment, you know, a little nicer for her. But this is the culture. She has a full facility, everything, and she chooses. This is the cultural way that she did laundry her whole life, so she's not giving that, which is fine. I love it, honestly. So in Kunpo, her dad moved the hose bib because the hose bib used to be where the car is sitting. So then I'm going to call this my sky bar. So it's going to be like a Bangkok rooftop bar without the rooftop, but it is going to be elevated another 4 inches and have like a nice clean edge. And it's going to be, I want to do light blue and black. Those are the colors. And over there, I want to eventually make a sign, something. I just want to have that vibe, that feel, that sort of nightclub, nightlife sort of feel here in the Rice Village. You know, I just get a little feel of that vibe, and you know, why not, right? Anyways, and then this will be the future fruit trees and stuff. I do have kind of a hole in the tree line here, so I want to plant eventually like a big tree or two here, just to keep any. There's some unpleasant odors that can once every 2 months come this way, which is once every 2 months too often. So I'm just going to put a tree or two there to keep that wind going that way, and also keep selfishly the cool breeze that comes where I want coming this way. So that tree line will end up being a lucky break. You know what I mean? The harder you work, the luckier you get. And the front garden's coming along great, but the back will just be this polished granite, slightly contemporary, very masculine tone, heavy bourbon cigar area, which, gee, doesn't that sound nice? Oh, there's Fawn's aunt at a distance. You can just see her. Look at that. Right there. She's so sweet. Yeah, but look at that sunrise. Woo! Love those pine trees there. I wish I had some more. I could steal some and put them over here. Hi. I haven't been at my bar in a while. This is Rob. Video's over. I'm closing my gate. But if you've been liking or subscribing, or and praise God if you've been a member of the channel, I really appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that watches. You have a great day.